Here we are, F United against TSL. Looks like TSL has a new logo with plenty of bubbles. In case you guys like bubbles out there.
I am a fan of bubbles.
They wanted to hit the bubble market, man, and there they are. They got it down pat. Look at that. That's a lot of bubbles.
TSL against F United. This is a match I know a lot of you guys have tuned in for.
Indeed.
Because, of course, F United is a team that is comprised of a lot of non-Koreans.
That's right. Moon, Lin, Phoenix, Thorzane, Soccer, and Nanawa make up F United, the smallest team, but IMO Tasteless, the coolest team.
Yeah, I mean, it's great to see these guys from all around the world join up here with a few top Koreans to take on a team as good as TSL. Now, as good as F United is, I will still refer to them as underdogs.
Yes.
Because TSL is just that good.
Well, you know, they've had some ups and downs so far. You know, their first week here, they did a great job and actually beat MVP. I know last night was a little bit hard against Slayers, man, but that's a tough team to draw. And Taja actually all killed them, unfortunately. But tonight, I don't know, man. TSL is pretty good, but let's not forget that Killer is in Germany right now at IM.
Yeah,
so
Killer, one of their best players.
Definitely is, yeah. So that's a kind of a big deal for them. They have this chance to snipe a TSL that doesn't have Killer.
Yeah. So let's take a little closer look here at F United. Key players, Moon and Nanawa. Not a surprise here that Thorzane would be their closer.
Well, Thorzane, he is the one who won the TSL Tasteless against Nanawa in the finals, in fact. So.
I got to know Thorzane back when we were at the Stars Wars tournament.
That's right, man.
I shared a room with him.
And, you did indeed.
And when he was sleeping, I'd go up to him and whisper in his ear Tasteless builds.
Yeah, and that's why he's good now.
That's actually why he's where he is today.
That's actually entirely accurate.
That's the only logical explanation.
Clearly, it couldn't be hard work.
As you can see here, it's a smaller team, but a very international team at that.
Well, you know, I'm really excited about this, man. I just want to see these guys play. I'm so glad we get to cast them finally. I've been watching all the our Code A casters do it. Lynn's got his hand in his pocket.
He's got his hand in his pocket there. I don't know what he's going to pull out, but these guys are ready. Now, Moon and, Moon especially, but Lynn as well, are Warcraft 3 legends.
Yeah, in fact, this team is Warcraft 3
mainly
players,
Warcraft 3
except for
Phoenix.
It's Phoenix and 5 Warcraft 3 guys. So
these guys are a pretty good representation of the Warcraft 3.
Well, these are
seen here in StarCraft 2.
Tippity tip top, Tasteless. The tippity tip top. I mean, the absolute best players to transfer over. I mean, there's a few others, but really, they're going to represent how good that community is.
And they're a close-knit group, these guys. Now, the problem, though, is that the team they're facing up against, which we're bringing out now, TSL, they've been very established in StarCraft 2 since the get-go.
Absolutely, they have been. And they have quite a strong lineup. But, you know, they're missing Killer today. And look at this, they only got to bring 6 players. You know, they are a smaller team in Korea.
Yeah, not like OGS, for instance, which is just massive.
There's so many Augs, man.
There are so many Augs. Team OGS. But here at TSL, the problem with this lineup is so elite. Players like Clyde, players like Alive. You got to be careful when you're going up against people like this. Yeah, at the same time, though, when you look at, especially with non-Korean players, there tend not to be as many snipe players. They're more well-rounded players because of the way international tournaments tend to work out. An international tournament generally is one that's held over a weekend.
Yes.
You have to play a ton of games on a ton of different maps and a ton of different matchups. Whereas in Korea, what we normally have are people that are simply put. Well, let me rephrase that. In Korea, we tend to have players that are better for sniping.
Yes,
better for training for one best of 3 for a week.
And this can happen for a multitude of reasons. Let's say someone's in the finals and Nestea spars against them nonstop. They're suddenly a Zerg sniper.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, look at Killer being the closer. He looks like he's some kind of werewolf fighter or something.
I think he's trying to do a Dragon Ball Z pose. Actually, he's the sickest Dragon Ball Z fan. We have key players of Clyde, Alive, and JYP, all very, very solid. JYP even taking down Dongregu in Code A and make it into that really critical round of 8. Alive, a player that has non-stop impressed in StarCraft 2. And of course, Clyde
is the greatest player of all time.
The best player ever seen. And quite a small little lineup that we see here.
Killer's posed this picture.
Yeah, man. He's actually totally trying to do some sort of Kamehameha.
He looks like he's posing as Nightcrawler from X-Men right now.
Oh, my. Well, our first match, of course, is going to be TSL's Heart against Nanawa. So, Heart, I don't think I've seen Heart play before.
Yeah, I think, well, he doesn't have a lot of experience. We know that much. He doesn't even have a lot of experience making hearts in that picture because he's covering it up right there. But we're going to see how
it's
good
more of a diamond. I hope he's higher than diamond level, or Nanawa's going to have his way with him.
Looks like he's trying to make a pair of lips. Now, here are the coaches right now, ready to duke it out. Now, Ep United could do very well. We haven't seen enough of them yet.
That's
now,
quite true.
This is the Ep United coach right here, TSL coach now in our shot here. And momentarily, we're going to send them back after the shake-off. Respectful bow. I'm really excited to cast one of Nanawa's games. You know, we're out here in Korea so much, I don't get to cast a lot of the foreign players, so it's always a treat.
Well, I think Nanawa may be staying for a while, Tasteless. That guy has some big goals for his career.
Now, as you can see, Ep United right now,
they're doing all right.
Not
Third
bad at
place
all.
is not bad at all. Absolutely. They're ahead of OGSTL, Slayers, and Prime.we. So
Prime is sinking.
Yeah, TSL, though, they're in first place, man. They are, of this group, the NS Hosos. In fact, that's exactly what NS Hoso's rank was going into.
8 points.
I mean, TSL, man, they are absolutely solid. In my opinion, they have the best coach easily in StarCraft 2 right now.
Yeah, he is a really hard worker.
Yeah.
I mean, the other coaches are great too, the Choya coach, the StarTale coach, but the TSL coach really stands out to me as well as somebody else who's just a very hard worker, and I cannot wait to see how his team does.
Yeah, I know. I really like the TSL team. I really like that United team. This is actually going to be a great match, man. I think it's going to be close, too, to be honest. You know, with every coming day, Nanawa, Thorzane, and Phoenix multiply their skill. That's what living in Korea does to you.
Well, it does. I know people go crazy when we say this, but people on the Korean ladder are just better than people on the other ladders.
By far better.
By far. I know people are like, someone on the forums is going to light up like, well, I don't know, man. When I'm playing on Platinum and
every
European
pro
server
that comes over,
they always
actually they're like, well, every other server's easy. This one is so ridiculous.
The raw number of good players on the Korean server is better. So whenever you're a non-Korean player and you come over here and you ladder on that, you're going to see a big difference.
Yeah. No. In fact, I've met some lower North American server Masters player, lower ranked ones, and they say that they cannot get out of Platinum here.
Yeah.
So.
And I think he is actually trying to steal our TV. What was that shot we just had there?
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Put that down.
You better not do that.
No. We need that.
It's not your TV. Stealing ain't cool.
I want to steal it after work. Now he's trying to take it. Well, that really messes stuff up for me. So, Artosis, what do you think?
Go to his house, steal it from him.
Prediction time. I'll do it. Prediction time. What do you think the score is going to be today?
You know, I think this is going to be pretty close. I think it might go to 6 games.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
And I'm not sure. I think
games.
someone's going to get on a roll and just feel perfect.
Well,
and take a bunch of games.
Nanawa can win the first few games, they've got a really good chance.
Oh, absolutely.
They've got a really good chance. And Nanawa's a very well-rounded player.
He very much is. He's really not cheesable. He pretty much gets the builds. He knows what's going on. He's been practicing so hard out here. I would not be surprised if he takes down this Hart fella.
Yeah.
Because if one player has Hart, it's Nanawa.
You're funny.
Man.
You're a funny guy.
That was really funny. You'd laugh.
Well, that was kind of like a funny. It's like not really funny, but it's kind of like kind of funny.
Like, oh, look at you being clever.
Yeah. What I'm going to do, Artos, I'm going to get candid laughter. I'm going to have like a little keyboard, so whenever you say one of those things, I'm going to be like, ha, like play it. I can do one of these.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I'll do.
Taste this on his organ.
The problem is that this show we're actually funny, and then so we don't actually need candid laughter. It's true, actually.
Good.
It's not like I don't know. Most other shows have candid laughter.
Yeah,
real
sitcoms.
funny shows. They don't actually need.
We ain't no sitcom, Tasteless.
No, man.
Sitcoms have the most terrible jokes.
Oh, I know. And everybody talks all sarcastically to each other.
Yeah.
It's like, where have you been? The guy's like,
and
well,
they're like,
I've been busy. And everybody's like, like the candid laughter comes in. I'm like,
yeah,
this is not funny. Like, you can't trick me by having a recording of somebody else laughing.
I know.
And
then it's like, it's
funny.
the same joke it's always been. It's like, Ray, why can't you be more like your brother? And then the canned laughter comes up, and he's like, oh.
It's like everybody loves Raymond. He's like, Raymond, you want to come out to the park with me? He's like, no. And everyone's like, I'm like, no, it's not funny.
He just doesn't want to go to the park,
And if
guys.
you watch
It's
too
like,
many sitcoms, you actually don't know how to talk to people. Like, if you watch, people like watch Law and Order too much, and then everything they say is sarcastic. I'm like, listen, man, nobody wants to work with your sarcastic ass when you talk like that. It's true.
Good point. It's a good point.
Got to actually.
Sarcasm can be really good, but not all the time.
Yeah, now we're
Sometimes
just like talking.
Should just be genuine.
Yeah.
Like we're being right now. We're not being sarcastic. We're actually
real.
being genuine.
Sorry for all the real talk.
Yeah.
Now,
hate to real talk you guys all day.
Yeah, sorry.
Say the truth and stuff. Has to happen though.
Does. All right, but going on to this match, I think Nanawa could take out a lot of people. He's the queen in this chess game.
I completely feel he is the best player on that team.
I think so.
Thorzane, of course, is right there with him. But I feel like those two are, I feel it goes something like Nanawa barely, then Thorzane. And then I feel like they're both pretty well above Moon, who's right around Phoenix. Phoenix might be just a little bit less than that. And then Soccer and Lin below that. That's my ranking.
And obviously they're all very good. But I think your analysis of that is actually quite good.
I'm always right, Tasteless.
You're just so good at it.
That's just how it goes, man.
How do you do it, man? Our map is going to be Crossfire. Great map. And I think there might have been a delay or something. We don't seem to have been going into this match right away. There might be some setting problems or something. The players aren't in the game.
Yep. Nano's still getting his stuff set up, it looks like.
Okay. Well, sit tight, guys. There may or may not be a delay, but obviously we want to make sure they have all the right settings. Here is Naniwa.
See him getting his settings all
Look
going.
at that. He needs to be in a knight suit right now with a sword.
Seriously?
Look at that.
You're actually so right. Wow.
He actually would make a good knight.
Oh, he definitely would.
You know what I mean? Like,
he would be the knight that actually doesn't care to save the damsel, but does it because he gets to kill a dragon on the way.
And he gets ladder points for it. He'd be like the knight that doesn't actually wear the helmet because he's so handsome. You know what I'm talking about? And he's leading all the other knights who are faceless because they're the extras, but he's the main character.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
And of course, they have to, during the fighting scenes, they can't show his face, only the back of his head, because he doesn't actually know how to ride a horse, because all he does is practice StarCraft.
Yeah.
That's the way it is, Tasteless.
Now, Naniwa, for those of you guys who only watch the GSL, you might not be familiar with this guy. This guy is a real force to be reckoned with.
Yeah.
On the international scene. He is definitely a heavyweight.
He flew into his first MLG, went through the open bracket, which is very hard to do, and got to the finals without losing a single game. His overall record for that championships was 26-2, one of the biggest streaks we've had in StarCraft 2 so far.
Yeah, he is very scary and very smart. When I watch his games, I have to say I can just see the intelligence in his play.
Mm-hmm.
And here's his opponent, Hart. This is his first time, as you can see here in our graphic.
That's a rough guy to put out first, man, because if it's your first time playing in GSL, you're going to hit Nanawa?
Well, Koreans have this like pride thing, too, about losing to foreigners or non-Koreans. But the fact of the matter is, like, you know, this is the toughest foreigner that you might ever face.
Yeah, this is one of the guys. He's like a Huck, like an Hydra.
Yeah.
He's a total badass killer nerd baller.
He is.
Sexy knight.
He's a knight.
He's a knight, dude.
I don't know what to say, man. Anyone looks like a knight. What do you want me to do?
You like the movie A Knight's Tale?
No, man, that
so
movie
good.
sucked.
Okay, you're dumb.
Dude, you are so wrong. Knight's Tale is so
Look,
bad.
I'll cast the first game, you cast the second game. I'm done with you.
Dude, Knight's Tale is like bad. Like my face melts.
Dude, he wanted to change his stars. It's actually about StarCraft.
Oh, dude, that was such a corny line. Oh,
that was the best. You kidding me?
You're such a jobber. Knight's Tale sucks.
Oh, I love that movie.
You know the part where they just suddenly start dancing? I'm like, wait, what?
Dude.
This movie's having an identity crisis.
That was like an awesome dance.
They had enough dumb montages.
He made that up as he
movie.
went.
Dude, it's... Oh my God, it's so bad. It's bad. Arto's is looking at me with pain in his eyes, man. I could write a book about how bad that movie is. I could write an anthology. I could write like 10 different volumes about how bad that movie is. All right, head-to-head here. Naniwa against Hart. The Knight Protoss. This is
Sirwa.
Sirwa. In the bottom left. We have to work on this nickname. We have the Knight Protoss.
You know, That's even more funny because a lot of people call him Nanny. Because sometimes he just uses the BNet ID Nanny, N-A-N-I. Nah, screw that. That's my grandmother's nanny. This guy's Sir Wah.
He's Sir Wah. Power of the left hand. Oh, he's left-handed, isn't he?
Yes, actually he is.
Better
I
be.
do remember this.
I don't know what else he'd be talking about. He's like the power of the stranger. Now, here we have in the upper right.
TSL, hot.
He can talk to animals, but can he take out the knight?
Yes, the
Sir
Captain
Wah.
Planet ability, Heart.
Well, the map, Tasteless.
Whoa, look at that.
That's a cute drawing. The map is, in fact, Crossfire, as we've mentioned before, but this is a map where you almost completely without fail on pro-level games in TDP see the Terran try a Marine siege tank timing push, whether it's off one base and all in, sometimes with Banshee, or if it is off two base and a little bit all-in-ish. But we don't normally see normal play, so...
Well, this is not a normal map, and it
In
calls
fact,
for really
yeah.
bizarre strategies sometimes.
He even gets gas first, so I would not be surprised if he's rushing to Banshee and then going for tank Banshee, perhaps possibly Raven, Marine all in. That is, it's just so common here. But Nanoa is going to know how to deal with that. I know it.
Excuse me, I've been having hiccups all day today. It's actually the worst. Have you ever had hiccups to cast? I'm having to strategically time out my lines.
Yeah.
And I don't have enough time to effectively drink a
Want me to
glass of
scare
water
you?
upside down.
I'll scare you so it goes, ah! You weren't expecting right then, were you?
I don't know, man. That stuff never works on me. I have friends that try to do that all the time, like jump out of corners to scare me.
Yeah.
But that just doesn't faze me. I just break their necks because I was a killer.
I always said, Tasteless, that if you were an animal in the Animal Kingdom, you'd be a sloth. So, sloths aren't scared either. You ever try to sneak up on a
No.
sloth and scare him? Happens to him all the time, man. He's totally fine with it. Sloth.
Sloth.
All right, so we do have a Reaper on the way, and interestingly enough, a second barracks, and in fact, he's going to put up a third barracks.
Oh, that's very interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know what we're going to see here.
You
He's making a
normally-
second Reaper.
No, he's not.
Yeah. Oh, no, excuse me. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Thank you. The good correction there. Go ahead.
But, you know, when it's a Reaper opening, it normally means expand, so that might be something he's counting on here, is to make it look like some sort of expansion build. It is, in fact, not, though. He's getting custom shells and a Marauder. That's pretty standard with a Reaper into expand. So, Nanoa, though, is going for a very quick robo, and that's exactly what you should do on this map. In fact, you probably should do it on every map Protoss is try it out, get a quick observer, figure out what's going on, and this will actually... He'll get an observer in his opponent's base, see that it's a 3-barracks build, and he should be able to hold it from there. It's as simple as that. You get an observer out, and you know what's going on, you can stop all-ins. Bam. End of story. So we will see if that's how it all goes.
This is sort of a weird all-in, though.
Yeah.
Coming here from the Terran with the 3 barracks.
And he gets it.
You know what's so funny about these sentries is that animation doesn't have to connect with them.
Yeah,
Before the
animation
unit
doesn't have to
actually
come out for it
Yeah.
to fire even. It's kind of cute.
So sometimes the SCD just blows up.
You just pretend to turn on your flashlight and you deal damage.
I just pretend that, like, the sentry was following him.
I'm
and
like, click!
he put a bomb in the guy's pocket, and he just, like, pulled out his cell phone and hit the button and blew him up.
Oh, and look at this. We have the Reaper getting in here. It's going to see... Let's see what it saw. It saw 3 gates, but it did not see the Robo. And against 3-gate play, he's going to feel okay with the build he's doing right now. Now, we do have combat shields in the way instead of stim. So this is a really weird opener by Heart.
Well,
I would think
could he go for a contain or something weird?
Yeah,
Like-
he might go for something like that, absolutely. And, I mean, that can be pretty good, but the Observer is going to tell Nanoa everything he needs to know. Sees a ton of units. He's already going to suspect that it's at least 2 barracks.
Now he's going to see that it's even more than that with this number of units coming out
You're at
now.
5 sentries. You think you're ever getting up that ramp? No, this isn't Season 1 of the GSL. You're not getting up that ramp. Don't ask that.
Nanoa in position right now, and Artosis is dead on with what he's saying. He wants
Yeah.
to make sure that he can actually just force field the ramp forever.
Oh, and you know what? This is kind of interesting.
Oh,
This is
I like
very
this.
interesting.
Okay,
yeah.
we got to get a shot of this new expansion in the Terrans.
Yeah, look at that.
Wow.
So this is, I haven't actually seen this build yet on this map.
Well, you know what it
of
is,
course, but
what he's doing.
It's like Zerg.
Yeah, what he wants to do is he wants to actually play Nanoa. He wants to completely dupe him into thinking this is an all-in. And then make it look like, oh, Terran's at a loss. He backed up. And in fact, what he's doing is he's just going to take a gold base, probably throw up a factory and another barracks or two here, and just control the map, because Nanawa is not most likely going to go down his ramp for a little bit here. He's going to be defending.
Based upon what Nano is scouting with this, he's countering it perfectly. He continues to warp and use. He's getting Robotics Bay off one base, so he's going to be going one base Colossus, because this totally owns a 3 barracks all in.
Right.
It's like, this is actually, guys, how you counter it. You don't make a Nexus and try to have fancy force fields like MC sometimes does. This is the safety. This is when you say, you know what, I'm not dying to this.
This is the best, most orthodox textbook response to have for you guys. I know not everybody who watches the show is high ranked, so you'll probably experience a lot of people who just make 3 barracks and are terrible.
Yep.
And not that this Terran's terrible, because he's not, but some people just make 3 barracks because they don't know what to do.
Yeah.
You just can go for Colossus off one base and you kill it. It's very easy.
Well, you know what else I really like about this build, Taste? Is not only the fact that he's kind of tricked Nano a bit, and in fact, where's that Observer? There it is. Okay, actually, that Observer's waiting for the all-in to come, so it's been drawn back across the map. But his army is super mobile. This is like when Zerg takes a quick gold on this base and then goes roaches. He has this army that you can't really walk out and attack his gold easily. So he's very safe. But Nano has started his Nexus because he's not been attacked yet. He's got enough force fields. His first Colossus is popping out. He would have canceled that if he had to, but he started it first, which is very, very smart, especially with his Observer watching for the attack. So Nanoa is actually playing very well, but so is Hart. This is actually... I'm completely pleased thus far with the quality of play in this game. I know you all were wondering. That's the case.
He gets an Artosis signature of approval.
Gets my stamp. I don't have time for signatures.
Oh, that's right.
It's a self-inking stamp, too. I don't open ink pads. Do you think I carry an ink pad
You're going to get your little nerd hands all inky?
No, man. Not going to happen. I don't lick my own envelopes, you silly guy.
You might scan that.
Scanning it actually would be really good in this scenario, even though he's dropping Mules of the Gold, which is important, obviously. But the fact of the matter is that Nanoa is constantly making Colossi, and he does not want to take time out of that to make another Observer. So Thermal Lance is almost done. The second Colossus is going to pop out pretty soon. This is the one time Nanoa does not want to overextend. He should not go through there right now, even though it's possible for him to possibly win that.
Terran have a pretty sick arc.
Here we go. The next Colossus plus Thermal Lance is going to be done now. Now it's time for him to go out there and start really poking. He's got enough force fields. This map is quite narrow. This is as this Colossus comes up and joins him, and Thermal Lance just finished. It is time, Tasteless, for Nanoa to start poking.
He's got to be careful. Do not let him snipe that.
Still has no idea, by the way.
Terran, by the way, wants to keep backing up. Do not engage.
Yeah. Only in perfect situations.
Yeah, maybe could engage over here with a good arc.
And there you go.
Just back up.
No medevacs are out right now. There are some just starting, but Nanoa is literally abusing Hart right now. He's saying, you know what? Too bad. I mean, you stim, bam, bunch of force fields. Your health is gone. He waits for the stim to wear out, and I'm sure he'll start poking again, but there's a better arc this time. So Nanoa's got to be a little bit careful about that. And Nanoa beginning to poke. Beautifully done.
He's actually taken out a lot of units.
Yeah.
A lot of Marines and Marauders have died back there.
His Colossi already have 9 kills combined, so. We do have a Twilight Council and a Forge on the way, as well as more Colossi.
Good job with Hart scouting with the factory. He's not going to be using that for a while. Might as well have that on the map.
And here we go. This is a perfect location for Nanoa to poke in. This is so force fieldable.
Oh, Nanoa's doing too much of a good job with the Colossuses.
This is an unbelievably hard position for his opponent, Hart. Nanoa is really playing just beautifully.
Oh, Nanoa is doing so well with his army.
Yeah, and look at those force fields, man. More stims. Only 2 medevacs are out. He started Viking production. Those medevacs can't heal all that, Tasteless. It's too much.
Beautiful.
Are out.
And remember, those sentries had full energy. They've been out in the game for a while. So he was able to make a lot of force fields.
Yep. Everything about Nanoa's play so far is immaculate. I think he's probably wondering what's going on, though. He has not found the gold base yet. And Terran is up in supply, but it's not the best units for this map.
He might not know what the hell's going on. He's probably thinking, why is he not expanded yet? Why does this feel like a game I played in the beta?
Yeah.
And we have a little drop coming up here. Now, the big question is, has Naniwa taken too long? I mean, the Terran does have a better income now. He does have more supply.
Yeah, he's definitely got some good things going on for our Terran, but Nanawa's unit composition is still quite good. There are 4 Vikings out with 2 more join them, so it's going to be 6 now. And that medevac, I don't think Nanawa saw that. You know, Nanawa's going to kick himself if he loses this game. He does not know about
this is a game where, yeah, it's like...
And that's going to be highly annoying for Nanawa. Going after his Templar Archives, actually. Probably be better to take out an upgrade. As you can see, that's not upgrading. It is a somewhat expensive building, but getting rid of an upgrade is, of course, much better.
Forge Knight might be going down now. Nanawa is still out in the middle of the map. I think Nanawa might just try to go for a kill here.
Oh, he's warping in a ton of units at home, but here we go. He's got to be really careful now. That's a lot of Vikings. A lot of Vikings. And charge has finished. So he's got to be careful not to overuse his charge. You know, sometimes you let a charge go, then you pull him back, and then the force fields go, then you attack, but your charge is used. A lot of Protosses make that mistake.
You know, I have to say, I think you think Naniwa would have found this expansion by now.
Looks like he's going to.
I think it suddenly dawned on him.
And he's going to see the patches and feel sadness inside, Tasteless.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to know in that moment, like, oh my God.
He's got to be careful, though, because here comes the army.
I think the moment that he saw all those Vikings, he's like, wait a minute, what? You can't have that many Vikings off just one base? Mm-hmm. But is it too late? That's the question right now. Terran has a big army, and this Protoss army is sort of stranded out on the map, not really able to move around, and now he's sort of gone into a weird position. Oh, here we go.
Well, this is kind of an interesting position he's in, force fielding off a lot of his zealots from going anywhere, but he's flanking with some zealots now. Will he be able to get something done here?
He's actually doing a lot of damage with the Colossus.
He is, but he's going to lose everything, too, and Hart has shown that, Tasteless. I mean, his opener was very well countered, but taking that gold has really paid off, and now the supplies are actually, they're pretty even, and Nanawa, as you see, is transitioning right over. He does have that Templar Archives again, but no Psystorm, so he's just going to be going Archon Zealot with no upgrades, unfortunately. That is definitely a build that you want to have that +1 armor on. He is upgrading +1 weapons, though, which, of course, goes better with Archons and with Colossi, whereas Zealots want that +1 armor.
Nanawa's response, the moment he saw that gold base taken, he immediately took his own gold base. He thought, oh my God, that's not a bad idea. The problem is that is he going to be able to hold it in this position?
Quite true, Tasteless. Well, he's got a fearsome army right now. Ghosts are popping out for Hart. In fact, he's got 2 ghosts right now with his army. But he's got to get those EMPs off just right. Those Archons, I mean, you only take off 100 energy of their shields with each EMP, so you cannot be missing. You got to stack some EMPs on those, and hopefully get the Zealots off as well.
Oh, some stray units out here being shot down.
And I love Hart's play, actually, right now. He's harassing with his Vikings during this time.
Yeah, very
realizing,
nice.
Hey, you don't have Stalkers. And that's actually, it's quite nice, man. I mean, there's no Colossi out, but if he loses those...
Uh-oh. Nanawa's Nexus is under fire.
Yes, it is.
And it's actually going to go down no matter what.
Yeah, it definitely is. An EMP does go off, but doesn't hit too much. Can Nanawa erase this army? Because if he can, then he might be able to just do a big counterattack, which would do a ton of damage.
Problem, though, is that right now Hart is microing his army just a little bit too well. Vikings lifting up. He is now retreating. Nice sniping there by Nanawa on the medevacs.
Yeah, all these Archons are at full health right now. Just barely hurt at all.
Can I just point out how good Hart is right now with this harassment? This is really impressive.
This is some of the better Viking harassment that I've seen in the matchup. He's actually doing a very nice job with that, but as he does that, that should trigger Nanawa, rather, into making more Colossi. Because as soon as someone starts losing Vikings, it's time for a tech switch.
Yeah, absolutely right, Artosis. Now, Nanawa's moving up. He's going to take out the gold base. Now, don't forget, the gold base has almost been mined out.
Yes.
So, what's more important is not does he make that base lift off, but does he destroy the orbital, because the orbital can be landed elsewhere.
Nanawa setting up for a little pincer maneuver. And will he go? Nice CMP.
Nice CMP.
Doesn't take...
Oh, the Templar slept in.
Mistake there. Nanoa not getting Psystorm upgrade. Still long distance mining from the gold.
Yeah, he needs to. I think he's debating between actually spending more on units and attacking into this, or does he just expand again?
I think you're quite right, Taste. But he's got to be careful here. Zealots are out of position. The ghosts are coming down and get an EMP off there.
Anyone may be cornered.
He may just want to go for it here, and well, he's flanking Tasteless. There's not a lot of places to kite, and in this situation, the Archons are going to be absolutely amazing, coming in with this huge amount of Archons, and if he can kill these Medivacs as well, Nanoa doing a great job there with the flank. His opponent could not kite back. Oh my God, sickest nerd chills on Artosis.
That was a really good move there to not make that Nexus just yet, to get a few more units.
Yeah.
And say, well, Terran's going to be in a little bit of a bind here.
Yeah, he certainly is, man. Nanoa takes a huge supply lead, 108 to 73.
I wouldn't be surprised if Hart still thinks a Nexus is actually at the gold right now, or probably thought it was during that battle.
Quite true.
Here's a drop.
This
everything got chopped up like right as he came out.
Just needs to send a couple units over there to clean that up. He already fed back that Medivac.
It rhymes.
Yeah.
You're a poet, and you weren't even completely aware that you were a poet. I think that's how the saying goes.
So yeah, that's it actually, because that almost rhymes, which is almost kind of what I did, except not at all. I love that Nanoa didn't push in too quickly, by the way. He was waiting to regain shields on those Archons, and also realizing that, hey, if I attack now and he kills my small army, I'm going to probably lose. What I need to do is kind of sit back, heal up, and get another base running. Because if I can do that, I've got this great unit composition. I've killed a lot of Medivacs. I've killed a lot of Marines and Marauders. I'm in good shape. And I need to actually just take that into consideration. By the way, 10 Archons out.
It's a lot of Archons.
It's a lot of Archons.
11 if you count the casting Archon right here.
Ooh. But, yeah.
See what I did there?
Nanoa has the casting Archon as well. It's cheating.
Yeah.
It's the best Archon of all. It doesn't do any damage, but it always
does fun damage.
Yeah. That's so nerdy.
Now, we just sort of got to wait this out. These guys are both just turtling pretty hard. The Medivac, there was a Medivac drop that came down there. It got a bit feedbacked, and it's at 2 HP.
Wow.
This game is pretty tense.
It actually really is.
It's an interesting story, the way this entire game sort of developed. From
Nanoa right now, focusing on mining from his gold, Tasteless, and warping in as many units as possible. I think he's just going to try to run his opponent over very shortly. In the meantime, Hart is going to be dropping on the gold right now.
Here we go. A drop in the main and a drop in the gold. Nice pickup there.
Yeah. Whenever you can get away with a drop like that, you absolutely should do it.
And this drop is still going on. That's got to be one more annoying little thing that Naniwa has to deal with right now.
Indeed.
So the problem right now for the Terran is that, although the Terran had this big advantage at the start, the gold base is mined out. So Naniwa is getting a lot of minerals right now, and there's not a ton that Hart can really do about that.
Yeah. Now, there is one interesting thing. Again, he has so many Archons at the moment. There's 11 Archons out. And Hart does have some ghosts. I mean, he has 5. Actually, all you need is, depending upon how clumped up those Archons are, if you just EMP them into nothingness, then, I mean, Hart could actually come back and end up winning through something like that. Yeah,
absolutely. Nice control here by Hart. Hart's actually doing a great job with these drops about just making sure that the map is a dark and scary place right now for Naniwa.
Yeah, Naniwa may even want to switch over his tech just slightly, whether that's add more High Templars, whether that's Ghost Stalkers with some
Sentries
blink.
Wouldn't hurt either.
Yeah, some Sentries could be nice. I mean, anything. He's staying on this exact unit composition, which is really good for rolling people over. But again, perfect EMPs on those Archons, if they are clumped up, could end the game. Well, it looks like he's not going to let that happen, though, Taste. Is not really clumping up yet, but can't really engage on that ramp.
This has been a big positioning game. Naniwa's going to come in for a flank.
Oh, yeah, man. He's going for that flank. And
it might
here
not
we
be
go.
The best flank in the world. A little bit late on the backside there coming in.
We do have some EMPs going off.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, see,
this is exactly what you were afraid of, Artosis.
Yep. And now Naniwa at 80 supply against the 102.
Naniwa completely bungled that flank as well. The right side of the army was dead by the time the left side of the army got there.
You know, Archons are great. They're a great unit, and at certain times you can use a lot of them, but against a lot of EMPs, things like this can and do happen, Tasteless. Also, we cannot forget to mention that the upgrades of Heart are far superior. Nanoa does have +2 attack, but +3, +2.
Oh my god, I didn't even notice that.
GG.
He's a poet, and he wasn't even fully aware of it either, Artosis.
Oh, Nanoa's aware of everything, Tasteless, okay? He knew it all along.
The Knight Protoss has fallen. It was actually a really good game, though. It was actually a really, really interesting game.
It really was.
Look, here's one thing that he could have done better, and I know he's probably very frustrated with himself. Get one High Templar with that Observer out there and get ready to feed back the Ghosts.
Yeah, you know, he actually did try to bring up one High Templar there at the end, but it was kind of behind, didn't get to do its job. And now we get to see who's going to come out to battle this guy.
I don't know. I'm going to say Moon. I think I'm right.
It's a hard call to make. You know, there has to be some sort of balancing here between the Korean players on We Made Fox and the foreigners. And I wonder what this coach's method is for doing this.
Yeah. Well, Hart's got to be happy with that game. That was actually a real back-and-forth game. I mean, that game was quite a story.
You know, I think you're right, Tasteless. I think you're right that it's going to be Moon.
I'm good, man. I'm good at this.
I think Moon's a good choice.
Yeah, I can't see anybody else but Moon. I don't think Thorzane yet. I think they're going to save Thorzane.
I would save
later.
Thorzane towards the end, yeah. Again, I feel like for
maybe
sure...
Maybe Phoenix?
I don't know. Do you bring out Phoenix? I feel like Phoenix's TVT isn't his best matchup. That's my opinion
actually,
on
that is a good point. I would think about it more for like TVP or something.
Yeah, I'd want him in a TVP or a TVZ rather than a TVT. I'm not a huge fan of his TVT style. A little bit too aggressive for my likings in that matchup. Yeah, I would definitely save him maybe for JYP. Maybe try to snipe JYP with Phoenix, something like that. But I don't know. We'll see.
There's... Oh, well, let's find out. We're going to go now. The coach is ready. Who's it going to be? It is... Is it Lin? He's moving around. It's Phoenix.
All right. Let's see if Phoenix, his TVT is any good. The map is going to be Tal'Darim Altar.
Phoenix is a very good player from StarCraft 1. One of the best South American players out there.
Oh, for sure.
He is scary. Scary to play against.
I think he's probably the best South American, even though Killer is coming up the ranks. Very good player. He's kind of fallen off lately, though. He hasn't had any huge tournament success lately. And, of course, that's one of the reasons he's come to Korea. He's realized, you know what, it's time to step it up. And, of course, through the help of his team Fnatic, he is over here practicing. He is actually living with the We Made Fox team along with Thorzane. Nanoa, though, is with the Startail team, wanting a bigger base of StarCraft 2 players to be able to practice with.
Yeah, I played against Phoenix actually a lot. I used to train with this guy at StarCraft 1. He's really good.
Played him about 4,000 games in StarCraft 1.
So strong. The thing about
Phoenix
is that he's one of the sneakier players out there.
Yeah.
He's very, very... his handling of situations is very adroit. He's very good at planting the first seed to trick you in a game.
I'm actually very good at summon this guy up if I could for a moment.
Please, go.
He's very aggressive, and his favorite things to do are mid-game, very strong mid-game moves. Not always all in, but very strong. He loves to do things like get a weird amount of units at a weird time.
We're going to have an interview with the coaches, and I think your analysis is correct, Artosis.
일단 어제 뭐 올킬을 당했지만 아직 경기가 2경기밖에 안 했고 저희가 아직 경기 수가 많이 남아 있어서 뭐 선수들이 크게 아직 연연해하지 않고 뭐 또 이틀 연속 경기가 잡혀 있어서 어제 경기는 어제 경기고 오늘 새롭게 또 시작하는 마음으로 선수들이 모두 어제 경기는 다 잊고 다시 오늘 뭐 오히려 오늘 저희가 올킬할 수도 있으니까 그러니까 어제 경기는 잊었습니다. 오늘 좀 저희 선수들이 다시 컨디션도 좀 좋아져가지고 오늘 새로운 경기력을 아마 보여드릴 수 있을 것 같습니다. 예. 네, 뭐 오늘 1위 팀과 맞붙게 됐는데 저희는 1위 팀인 거를 전혀 생각하지 않고 그냥 한 경기 한 경기 최선을 다하려고 하고 있습니다. 그리고 어제 올킬을 당했는데 선수들이 좀 어제 좀 집중력이 좀 떨어졌던 것 같아요. 그래서 좀 오늘 경기 컨셉을 좀 한 경기 한 경기 집중력 있게 좀 임하려고 하고 있습니다. 예. 현재 뭐 1위 팀인 걸로 알고 있는데 지금 3승으로 패도 없다고 들었습니다. 하지만 이제 오늘 저희 팀과 경기를 임하게 되는데 저희가 오늘 1패를 만들어 드리겠습니다. 긴장하시고 최선을 다하길 바라겠습니다. 예.
MVP 팀이 뒤쫓고 있는데요. 바로 뒤에 있는데 저희는 MVP 팀을 의식하지 않습니다. 그냥 매 경기 최선을 다할 뿐이고 오늘도 역시 정말 준비를 잘 해왔고 1승을 꼭 해서 1위를 지키도록 할 것입니다. 일단 멤버 처음에는 제가 약팀이라 생각했거든요. 근데 어제 경기 봤을 경우에도 상당히 올킬을 당했지만 내용면에서는 상당히 좋았던 것 같아요. 그리고 장지호 선수가 워크래프트3 선발전에 때문에 연습을 전혀 못한 상황일 텐데 그 정도 경기력을 했다는 건 대단히 놀랬고요. 좀 충격이었습니다. 장지호 선수에 대해 역시 천재성이 있다는 걸 좀 느꼈고요. 그리고 토르제인 선수는 외국 선수 중에서 가장 제가 관심 있게 보고 있는 선수고 TSL에 아직 외국 선수가 없지만 영입을 만약 외국 선수 중에 할 사람이 누구냐 묻는다면 저는 토르제인 선수를 영입하고 싶은 마음입니다. 그만큼 토르제인 선수의 그런 무한한 가능성에 대해서 높게 평가하고 있습니다. 토르제인 선수와 난야 선수는 지금 멀리서 와서 참가를 하고 있는데요. 바쁘게 지금 일정이 잡혀서 계속 쉴 틈 없이 연습을 하느라 많이 힘들 것 같아요. 많이 힘냈으면 좋겠고요. 선봉에서 오늘 김민혁 선수와 난야 선수가 경기하는데 좋은 경기 보여줬으면 좋겠고 제가 좋아하는 토르제인 선수도 멋진 경기로 이렇게 좋은 경기로 팬들에게 이렇게 보여줬으면 좋겠습니다. F유나이트도 화이팅하고 TSL도 화이팅해서 오늘 멋진 경기 좋은 승부 한번 가려봅시다.
Those are great interviews there. So look, with Phoenix out here now, I'm not shocked they picked Phoenix to come in. I wouldn't see Phoenix coming out as third or fourth player. You know?
Yeah, I would definitely use him earlier on. I like controlling macro-ish styled players later on. They have, in my opinion, in fact, more potential to take a wider range of games. Whereas the more aggressive player just kind of has to kill someone. So hopefully,
an aggressive player can burn somebody out, but look, if they lose this, they're halfway to losing this entire thing.
Yeah, and that's a rough spot to be in. I mean, they've already used Nanawa, and again, I feel like he's the stronger player on the team.
One thing about Hart going into that first game is he kind of, and it is a good strategy, is pulling a fast one on his opponent. He's saying, all right, this is Thorzain's first time. Nanawa's first time here at GSL. He's going to be very focused on, what are my fundamentals? Am I making all my pylons? Am I doing everything perfectly? And if you just throw a Nexus in the corner of the, command center, why am I bad at giving this explanation? If you throw a orbital in the corner of the map, that's going to be something he's just not going to be expecting. Now, after you do pull one fast one on somebody in the first game, I don't think you can really do that in the second game. In the second game, Hart is going to have to probably play a more standard game.
Well, in this game, I imagine that Phoenix will probably be the aggressor. This guy has never really liked to just sit back in macro, so I think he's not even going to have the chance to do that. I think that for Hart the thing is, I don't think Hart knows much about Phoenix. Phoenix certainly doesn't know anything about Hart. So I don't know.
These guys might as well be two anonymous people meeting in the ladder.
Phoenix on his nerd slaying glasses.
Yeah, that's right. He's got his glasses on. They look more like goggles that he's going to solder a nerd to another nerd with. Make some kind of super nerd after he's done cleaning his hands off. Phoenix, a good friend of ours, going up against Hart. This should be a very, very epic match. TBT here. The map is Taldirum Altar. So get ready for some more awesome GSL Team League here in Seoul, Korea.